Mm. Hello, guys. 3 times in one day, as the actress said to the bishop. Um, yeah, I thought I'd kind of share with you uh, some some kind of emotion, some other emotions that because I know I'm doing videos on you know getting sober, and before I go into all the melancholy bollocks, yeah, I went downstairs earlier after I did the last video. Yeah, I'm kind of addicted to talking to myself. So that's all I seem to do. Um, after I did the last video, I went downstairs and tried to do a bit more of that Lego thing. And actually, the shakes are not as violent as they were before. So I'm probably coming out at the end of that particular part of the process. Um, I, I'm still not getting any hallucinations or anything like that. I I've got no cravings whatsoever for alcohol. So all is good, all is on track. But yeah, if you didn't see the video I did earlier in the evening, or yesterday evening, um, I was kind of explaining how I was feeling you know kind of in spite of all the knockbacks over the last few days, I was feeling kind of uh, okay. Um, but that's not to say that moods can't dip. Moods dipping is something which it, people experience that. They don't have to have mental health issues to experience that, because that is just part of life. We feel sad about something, or some things upset us. I mean, I'm still getting like a hurty feeling in my chest when I think about things, and that's just part of the process of getting over something, or getting through something. We just kind of to have to work our way through the emotions. Um, I was I had a look on a dating website, Plenty of Fish. Um, I'm on there somewhere. I'm not going to tell you what my name is on there, because you'll only go and have a look. um, but I was having to look at it earlier, and I don't know. But there's not much point in fishing, as they call it, because you can't meet anybody, not at the moment. And B, I don't know what the future's going to hold for me with respect transport and stuff like that. I'm endeavouring to or I will be endeavouring to get a car, a second-hand car, um, but I don't know how long that's going to take, and it's impossible to chat women up if you haven't got a car. You can't really do it. Um, but the thing is, I went on Plenty of Fish around about November last year, and I went on a few dates. Had like a couple of one night stands and a couple of very brief relationships. I might have even spoken about that in an earlier video, but I one of the people I was seeing, actually, um, she's still a friend now. She basically said, "I don't think you're ready to like move on and get in a new relationship," and that was kind of true. Um, and unfortunately, I'm not even convinced that I'm ready yet. Um, I now have a lot of trust issues. I I, I'm going to struggle to trust um, a potential partner, ever again. I think, until somebody gives me faith in that whole thing. Um, uh, I'm not saying that I'm a saint, and my ex is a sinner. I'm not going to say that in the slightest. I think mistakes were made on both sides. I And that was leading up to the affair, although she just called him a fuck buddy, but like you don't move in with a fuck buddy, do you? You just kind of go around there for a shag, a booty call, or whatever. Most people, that's what an affair is. Basically a fuck buddy. 'Cause some people just don't want to get really into. I used to have fuck buddies when I was younger, um, and and it's pointless, really. It really is pointless. A fuck buddy. It's just because I always used to make like the effort to actually put in a good performance, even though it's a fuck buddy, and you just think it's just bizarre because there was one in particular, and she moved in with me, but only because we were sharing a housemates. So sometimes we'd probably nip into each other's bedroom, or well, we wouldn't nip in, but we'd be invited, And sometimes she'd bring like guys back, and sometimes I'd bring, a woman back. Um, but you just think at the end of it, you just think, what am I doing? Like, I'm thinking like, I, I with me with one in particular, we were like really good mates. Well, unfortunately, alcohol was a massive part of that relationship, that friendship, and everything. We both used to drink like motherfuckers, really, um, and I just used to think like. When we'd kind of gone back to each other's bedroom, whichever bedroom we've gone back to our own bedroom, I mean, afterwards, it's like, what, why, why, why don't I just have a relationship with this person? Um, but yeah, so anyway, yeah, my apparently my wife, uh, rather than talking to me about what what was wrong, she moved in with a fuck buddy. So it's like she gave up on the marriage for the sake of a fuck buddy. It wasn't even like she uh, ended up with a guy, and you know, they do say what goes around comes around, and as I've said before, I think on this channel, I cheated on my first wife. I'm pretty convinced because we got back together, and by that point we both kind of moved on. I don't know why we got back together, um, and and it only lasted about 2 or 3 months, but I'm pretty convinced. I look back and think about uh, the way we were together and that, and it was kind of toxic towards the end, very toxic. Um, but I look back now and I think, wow, yeah, I know she must have been cheating on me, and quite blatantly as well, because she'd go out and probably wouldn't even come home. She'd go out with a mate, clubbing or whatever, and then I'd probably get a text at like 5 o'clock in the morning saying um, they walked home or they got a taxi back, but they just stopped at her friends. Lived in the same town. I don't know. Taxi, could just anyway. Um, and it's kind of pretty obvious that what what she was doing. Where was I going with this? Yeah, I'm not I'm not ready for another relationship. I don't think I I definitely need a lot of counselling to work on my abandonment issues, which uh, I did a bit of work with my psychiatrist about that as well. Um, and so I got the abandonment issues, the trust issues. Um, the it's not so much trusting as in believing, I suppose, believing that what that person's saying to you is actually quite heartfelt. Um, well, because you can see that it is, or you think that it is, but then you look back and think they were kind of acting. Um, I mean, it could be the borderline personality disorder, where it's a splitting, but I don't know. I really don't know. I I I really don't think it's right for me to embark on a relationship, because it might be completely unfair to the other person, because I might basically be doing the kind of stuff that my second wife did, um, basically not actually wanting to be there, but pretending that you did, that kind of thing. And I couldn't put somebody that I couldn't put anybody that I actually knew through that, but I couldn't put somebody who I barely knew through that, because I wouldn't know how emotionally stable they were. I wouldn't, like, in the early part of a relationship, you don't really know a lot about each other, and I wouldn't really want to be responsible for just mind fucking somebody. I couldn't do I couldn't do that. It'd be quite bad. And like I say, the thing is, yeah, people would probably say, "Well, you're not over your ex," and maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not. You know, that's something I can work through with my counsellor when I can get back to see her. Um, but I think more than that, um, because you have to go through the process of getting your ex out of your mind and everything, and hopefully most people do after, weeks, months, a year or so, depending on how long they were with that person, and how. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of reasons really, but yeah, but it's not just a case of getting over my ex. It's the fact that, like I say, I'm not going to trust people's emotions. Um, I could walk onto a wing in prison when I was working in prison, and you could kind of sense when something wasn't right. Even if it was a prisoner that you didn't know, you could, and you asked them what they were doing, you could tell if they was lying and everything. But I just seem to have been quite unfortunate in a couple of relationships, in not really reading emotions properly. And it's not because I'm some kind of weirdo, like, I've got Asperger's or something. It's because um, I've been taken in, and we all get taken in by people. People people bullshit. It's one of them things where I, that, it's probably not got me in any good places, but I I go with I go with sorry, I've got to screw this knob in. It's just on the drawer. Bollocks! I can't be asked. Yeah, I go with like, not even so much my gut feeling. I go with my emotions. So I've had friends say to me when I've, started dating people, like they are wrong and whatever, but you just go with your emotions, and that's part of, for me, that's part of life's rich tapestry. Whether it's been choosing the wrong job, I've done that before, uh, choosing the wrong person, getting involved with some dodgy characters or whatever. It's all part of life's rich tapestry, and that's what I like, doing. And I mean, I haven't got a very strong family influence. I I do my own thing. I do my own thing, and I I don't listen to anybody else. It's like, I I mean, this isn't the first time that I've been kind of misled by an ex who kind of said that they says that they want you back, and things will be different, and making plans and doing all that. Um, this is like the second time it's happened to me, so I'm quite gullible, really, I suppose. Um, it's it's a really, really tough one, really tough one. Um, I think we're living in strange times at the moment anyway. All this lockdown and everything. That's not helping things for lots of people. I mean, it's not helping me because I even when I go out for visiting different towns and everything, as I've been doing. I won't be able to do that soon because the car's going back. But I get there and it's kind of a whatever my destination is, it's kind of a hollow, empty feeling because there's nobody to share it with. Um, and and humans are generally quite social beings. So yeah, that's kind of sad. Just makes you think, oh, what's the point in going anywhere? Part of me just cannot believe my shitty luck. Right, I'll be really honest with you guys. Well, that's if anybody ever watches this video, doesn't matter anyway because it's cathartic just to talk. My my second wedding day was without a doubt, any shadow of a doubt, the happiest day of my life. I couldn't believe how happy I was. Um, and my marriage kind of failed because I slipped into a depression and wasn't there for my second wife. Just just a shame that rather than approach me, she uh moved in with a fuck buddy. Sorry, I got to have a drink. It's just kind of amazing how life is, how we the day I got married and even leading up to the day I got married, I never thought that well, when we're waiting to get married, I never thought that, oh wow, in well, this will all turn to shit in like about a year and a half, because she's gonna basically run off with a fuck buddy. I It just doesn't enter your head, but that's how life can change. It can just change just like that. I'm one of these people who thinks that sometimes as human beings, and I'm guilty of as as guilty of this as most other people. Um, Sometimes we say something, but we say the wrong thing, but we've decided to say the wrong thing because we don't want to let our emotions out. We don't actually, um, how many relationships have ended because of um, uh, an argument, and one of them says something basically because they're pissed off and everything, and then no, neither side backs down, and then they split up, and then fucking the dad's having the kids every other weekend, and like he's struggling to pay the mortgage and the rent on his shitty one bedroom flat, and it all just hinges on that thing. At some point, you just have to say, look, let's reset, okay, reset. We need to talk about things, and we need to get things sorted. Um, it's very very difficult for somebody to uh raise the topic with somebody who's got bipolar or borderline personality disorder because that 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 illness is always between you and your partner, so it always comes between. Because so I've had partners that have flung it in my face. It's like that thing where you know a woman's being miserable, so you say, is it your time of the month? People say, have you forgot your meds? Or that's just your um, bipolar talking. And it just kind of belittles you, really. I like to think I'm more complex than a couple of mental health issues. Um, but yeah, I was just feeling really kind of melancholy. um, hmm, I took my meds about half an hour ago, so I'm just waiting for them to kick in. Yeah, so I know I'm going to bed late. It is like 10 to 2 and everything, but I'm just I just I don't know what the future's going to hold. I mean, that's the thing that we can all say. We don't know what the future's going to hold. We don't know whether this happiness that we're experiencing is going to last forever, or whether something or somebody is going to come along and fuck it all up. Um, when with my first marriage, I I had an affair. Um, I make no secret of it that I totally and utterly fucked the marriage up. My wife didn't find out at the time; she found out later because I told her. Um, and you know, but at that point in our lives, we'd been together about 18 years. So kind of a long time to be with somebody. I mean, now people just seem it's like marriages are like something you get from Primark now. You don't expect them to last. They look good in the moment, but then somewhere you fucking throw it away and pick up a new go back to Primark and pick up a new marriage. That's what it seems to be. People don't have any fucking staying power. It's like let's jump ship straight away. It's all we're not sinking. Jesus, it's a submarine. I don't know. I just think people don't don't have the staying power that they used to. Um, you know, if I could say that I was married twice and both marriages lasted 18 years, then that would be kind of impressive. And then I'd be like 60 or whatever, and you know, basically that's cool. But I I helped to fuck up my first marriage without a shadow of a doubt. I had an affair and everything. And it's a cliche, but that was that drifting apart of the two of us. We drifted apart. Been together for so long, but we got together when we were very young, and I think you know I wanted to experience life. I didn't really experience much of life because uh, by the age of 18, I was with somebody and we just stayed together for like 18 years. Um, so yeah, that first marriage, we we did just drift apart. Even if I had not told her that I had an affair, um, she would have still gone out partying because she was doing that before I told her that I'd had the affair. Um, so we we'd kind of gone in different directions. She was more confident, outgoing, and going out with a mate, and I was pretending that I was playing squash and going round and shagging the person I was having an affair with. And I mean, the two of us, me and the person I had the affair with, we were very much uh, fuck buddies because it wasn't really so much about the actual. I mean, we did talk, um, we but there wasn't much talking. It was like we'd literally, I'd rock up. Um, she always used to drink wine, so I'd probably have a couple of glasses of wine, and then we'd get down to it, and that was the sum total of that relationship. Once, not exact straight after we finished, but pretty much soon after, I'll get my car and go back home. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speak ill of my second ex. I'm not going to do that. Like I said, I was going to talk about like how that my second marriage, how that's impacted on my mental health. But I'm going to do that without apportioning blame, and I don't want to knock my ex, but it's just that I could not imagine um, basically marrying somebody and then a year and a half down the line, um, rather than say to that person, uh, "Look, we got some shit to talk about." Um, I can't imagine I'd just go off and find somebody to shag. I just don't understand it. That's but that's that's somebody else's issue in that, isn't it? So um, I all I'm doing now is just kind of having some quiet uh, self time. Not really wanting, not really wanting. Yeah, I'm aching a bit as well. So going sober. Yeah, I don't really want a relationship at the moment. Because I'm not going to feel strongly about anybody while my head's in this mind fuck place. So I don't know. It's just at the moment it's just really really lonely, um, and I could have enjoyed the company of somebody from Plenty of Fish. But I don't want to. I don't want to because yeah, because maybe but it's twofold. Hung up on my ex and n- n- trust and abandonment issues. And while I'm in that car, I don't know if I've done a complete video about abandonment, but that'll be on my list of things to do. Sort of like reasons why I feel or why I'm worried about abandonment. So yeah, it's been a funny couple of days. That's all I can say. You got to, you know, sometimes it feels like my heart's breaking in my chest, um, and sometimes I I can kind of laugh. Sometimes it's like I've got to laugh because if I didn't, I'd cry. It's ridiculous, really. Oh dear. Yeah. So it's Saturday tomorrow. I'll be doing a video about 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Like I say, I might do one in the. I've spoken about X's and that tonight, just now. I mean, so probably I don't need to do one tomorrow afternoon, but tomorrow night about 10 o'clock ish, I'll do it because then I'm going to be like celebrating 5 days sober. 5 days sober. That's it's about 120 hours, is it? Something like that. Something like that. Anyway, I was always shit at maths. I'm a writer, not a mathematician. Even if I worked in a shop, well, fuck that. When people do work in shops, they don't count out the thing in their head. They basically type it into a keyboard. We don't need maths. We've got calculators. Anyway, I'm digressing. Um, yeah, I don't know what. I've only got 1 minute left because I'm not going to be anything longer than 30 minutes. I don't know what today's going to have in store for me for alcohol withdrawal issues. I don't know if I don't know if I'll feel a lot better. I don't know if I'll feel worse. Christ, I could even be dead. Apparently, you know, you can have seizures on the fourth day, and they can kill you. Um, but I do think, all joking aside, that is for people that are profoundly, uh, dependent upon alcohol. So yeah, I don't know what's going to hold for me tomorrow. What's in store for me, but I am starting to wake a little bit now. And like I said, the twitching or the violent If I've still got them in the morning, I will definitely video it. But yeah. Anyway, look, it's half an hour. There you go. Right, I'm gonna I'm gonna do one as they say down south. I'm off like a dirty pair of pants. If you're American, you won't get that. In fact, if you're not from south of England, you won't anyway. But look, um, stay safe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow night if you're coming on the journey with me. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. It's like putting a zip on it. All right, I'll see you later, guys.